will be talking further on this in the future, I hope, and hopefully people will call in with their own ideas because gosh knows there's a lot of great ideas out there.
Oh, definitely.
So, Anita,
yes.
Anita, you make a good concept there, and Jim, I know, and Beatrice are both affiliated with the county projects, which are basically seizing back county control to we the people and taking control of our governments as opposed to letting other elected bureaucrats seize the opportunities that are provided and be able to shape and form our policies and our laws in our local communities. Another great opportunity to get that message out that somebody has recently suggested that I overheard that I thought was meritorious was on Craigslist. They have a topics column for local discussion in your areas, and that's a great place to post some of these controversy messages that you want to get out to the people and inspire them to get out to come to these PUC meetings, these city council meetings, the county boards of supervisors meetings, and let your voice be heard loud and clear and back it up with solid. Do your research and your due diligence before you go down there. Make sure you have the facts, the law, the medical reports, the peer-reviewed scientific evidence that supports your position and refutes the lies that they're putting out there to try and support theirs. It's absolutely mandatory.
Absolutely, and one thing that in my neighborhood, and I can't speak for any other neighborhood but mine, people haven't even been going to city council meetings. They've just been kind of, I don't know. Well, I live in Buckeye Land. They watch the OSU football games. But, they don't even know what the county commissioners are doing. I mean, they haven't a clue. The first thing we have to do is, comb our hair and go to these meetings and see what they're up to. And you will probably hear the word partnership, don't you think, Chris?
It's a code word.
It's a code.
They say partnership, they're talking about public plus the private, working against the individual.
Exactly. And, I hear it on TV. We have a government channel, and they say it with a smiling face. The mayor just got into a partnership with American Electric Power, and I went, oh, my gosh, what are they up to now,
They're getting a kickback to the county funds, so they got more money to pay themselves. And it's your
Absolutely. Well, that's what the county project is about. From my end, is trying to get people to wake up to who's in their county, who's doing what can we help promote, what do we need, what good ideas can we throw into the mix.
Yep.
And thank you, Deatra, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Oh, hey, well, you're a part of our team now, so, oh, my goodness, I was going to have Drake bring up the last couple of minutes, but it looks like he has dropped off.
Not a problem.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you guys go ahead and take us down the last 15 minutes, and, just remember we've got lots happening on the freedomreigns.us website. There's stuff about the county project, the IPMC, so on and so forth. So feel free to check us out. Anita and Chris, I'm going to let you guys run with it.
Well, Chris, you got me really interested in this fiduciary duty thing with the Utilities Commission. Have you got any paperwork that we can share with the people? I mean, I'd love to go down that path.
Well, absolutely. If you just search the Public Duty Act, it's a powerful piece of legislation. There are lots of federal laws that regulate the performance of public servants,
right?
Elected officios that have a fiduciary responsibility and a moral responsibility to take care of the public trust. And when they violate that, they may be in violation of their employment contracts. They may be usurping or seizing powers that are not entitled to them and using them without your knowledge. And therefore, they all operate under this legal presumptive scheme that anything they can get away with is legal unless timely and a specific objection is uttered under law and supported by evidence to controvert it or rebut it.
Well, now, I've been talking to a gentleman by the name of Howard Griswold.
I know Griswold's name.
Okay. He's been trying to, on his calls on Thursday, it's a Gemini Research Project, I believe is the name of it. He's been trying to educate us on this exact topic, and I've been taking notes, trying to find a way to use this fiduciary duty and file paperwork that you can take into the system and hold these people responsible individually when you can verify, which I think we can easily do, that they have violated this fiduciary duty.
Absolutely. It's very, very important, and this is something worth paying attention to. There are federal law, not mere state statutes, codes, or other schemes of legalese that are used, because legalese, when they say legal, look out, because there's a zinger behind it somewhere. Somebody's going to suffer abuse for some reason. They usually incorporate elements of frauds. Frauds consist of a multifarious means which one party can gain specific advantage over another party by some scheme or duping or ruse or trick. And so these are frequently incorporated in the elements. In fact, if you note this particular case, ROTELLA-V, that stands for versus, would. You can find that on the USAM, United States Attorney General's, I forget what the M stands for, website. And it speaks specifically to the empowerment of an American individual to be able to, in the public's interest, pro se execute a case or prosecute a case against malicious bad actors or government officios or corporate officios, violating the public trust or seizing the opportunity to enrich themselves unjustly at the expense of the public trust, and provides actio trinitas causa, which is treble damages, 3 times damages, in the form of payments and rewards to the private individual as an attorney at the same going rates that an average attorney, anywhere from $200 to $500 an hour, and fines and so on and so forth that are given to that person for prosecuting to protect the public interest.
Okay, that is so fabulous. I know I can play it back on recording, but the first part that it sounded like Latin words. Could you repeat and spell those again? I didn't get it quite.
Well,
and you said we'd find it on the U.S. Which website did you say we'd find it?
USAM. That's the United States Attorney General's Management or whatever it is website.
Okay.
If you search for Rotella B. Wood as a case, it
Rotella?
will take you to that USAM website. Also, there's a really great tool that's provided by the Department of Justice on their complaint. I think it's 14.1. I should be able to give you that site, but I don't have it right in front of me. I apologize. But if you Google federal complaint forms or Department of Justice complaint forms, you should come. And I say Google with a generalized, because since it's a CIA-operated DARPA project, I urge people to avoid that one. It'd be my suggestion. That's what I choose to do. I use a start page or some other form of searching engine that is not run by the CIA and their DHS and the other forms of intel data mining gathering centers. But it was, what I said was Rotella B. Wood. That's the spelling, R-O-T-E-L-L-A. That's the case. And the concept is called actio, which means action, tri, which means 3, and causa, which means for cause. So
say it again slowly.
Actio, tri, metus, M-E-T-A-S. That means it's meted out.
Okay.
For cause.
For cause.
C-A-U-S-A.
Got it.
M-E-T-A, okay. And that's, you got to have you can go online and get Black's Law Dictionary, and that's where most of these legal terms they use come from the Talmud.
Oh, I did not know that. That is fascinating.
I have to urge you to be very cautious if you choose to read any of that book, because it is one of the most evil, vile, sexually explicit, usurious, and corrupt, supporting of child pedophilia, incest, and all forms of sexual deviancy under the license of the self-chosen of God. Of course, they don't tell you which God chosen to do this stuff.
I did go there, and I did start to read it, and I said, okay, I can't read this. This is making me sick, and I shut it, because it just is like, where in the name of goodness did we get such perverse thinking?
Well, and there you see where we get our bestiality and homosexuality approvals for the armed forces. What form of psychopathic neuropathy is predicating that form of licensing that type of activity for Americans. It's beyond common sense and it offends the senses.
It is absolutely beyond that. But I would love to pursue this, and I don't know, maybe off this program you and I could communicate, and I'd be happy to do the typing work, and maybe we could get together and whatever we come up with, could we share? Because I think other people, I know people personally, probably including the woman from Alabama, and probably including Deandra, who would love to see how this works, and they would love to replicate it and fight this whole thing, this smart meter insanity.
Well, allow me to suggest one of the best resources for learning about private attorney generals. I came across this concept several years ago, fighting against zone Nazis, asserting my land rights that I gained under grants of land made patent by the power and seal of the POTUS at the power of Congress. And so this is where I got into it. But Rod Class, on his Rodney Class, rod-class.com, I think it is, website, has a great series of instructional audios and videos concerning the Private Attorney General's Acts, which comes from the Judiciary Act of, I believe it's 1874. And then there's an Attorney General's Compensation Act, or a Private Attorney's Compensation Act of 1975, which gives the payment formations and stuff to supply compensating those who choose to act in the public interest. And these are really powerful laws, but it gets back to the foundational American common law that's found in Corpus Juris Secundum, which is another legalistic treatise in law form that was the foundational common law that comes from England that our country was founded on. And what we really have is a diversional split between the common law, or what we would term a Christian law, or Christos, which, if you go in there, there's a whole different vein to go down that one, and Talmudic law. That comes from the Pharisees and the Sea people, the Sadducees, the Babylonians, the Sumerians, all these different tribal sectarians that were truly the seed of Cain, which some would tell you that was a satanic seed that was inseminated into Eve in the garden, that predicated dark forces that permeate the earth this day to try to seize control for their master, Hashatan, Satan, or Lucifer, if you prefer.
Well, it would be nice if Drake could reassure us that the smart meter issue, I just have these fantasies that these satellites that are being used against us would somehow fall out of the sky. I mean, I'm entitled to my little dreams too, but because if Drake and those people are truly looking at all the horrible problems facing our humanity, really, it would certainly be nice if smart meter was just that chapter gets closed.
Well, that's just one element. The smart meter is just one piece of the puzzle. It ties to the cloud security system, the satellite network, which is basically a cloud hovering over the whole of the earth to watch down upon us and to monitor all of our movements. And the smart meter is one portion. That goes to the fusion centers, and those are your neighborhood community gathering centers of data and intel for transmittal to the larger fusion centers. They got a big one they're building in Utah right now. I can't think what the name of that one is, but that's part of the big satellite intel network that the CIA and DNI, Defense National Intelligence, and DOD want to be sure to provide a global net over all of us so they can see what we're up to.
Well, I think it's time that one gets shut down, don't you?
Well, I would surely be happy for them to do that if they were doing something normal with it instead of just the insidious trying to make us all into global slaves so they can make us be efficient outputters of whatever they choose. Recently, they brought back a bunch of military guys that were going to train them to pick crops in California and the wine countries and the plantations and stuff out there as their new form of income revenue generation coming back from Afghanistan after fighting for our lives.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Guys, we are going to have to wrap it up here. We are just down to our last few minutes. And I'd like to definitely thank you, Anita and